Hi, how are we? Hope everyone's okay. We're joined this evening by Destiny Child. I'm a survivor. I thought it was appropriate. So, I've been watching the George Floyd case, and firstly, I just want to send so much love to his family because this must be absolutely torturous. To have to sort of relive it. So my thoughts and love go out to all of you. What I can say is the following. So there's several things. So there's a guy that's been on the witness stand today, who was the guy who was in the shop, and he was the one that actually called the police because of a fraudulent note. Hold on, let me just turn this down. It might be a bit loud, mightn't it? Hold on. Yeah. So, first thing, let's just get this right. That what they'll do is they'll try and discredit George. That's a tactic that they will. That's what they're going to use. And because they're trying to say it's down to being high, being on drugs and stuff, or alcohol. Now, so the chap that was in the shop obviously was just doing his job. He was given a note, and that's why it was fraudulent, and phoned the police. That's his job. Now, because I've been out with a criminal, I have too much knowledge in this area, in the sense of I know about fraudulent notes and how they get into circulation. So even though George allegedly paid with a fraudulent note, that does not mean to say that he knew it was fraudulent. Let's just get that right straight off, because there are so many fraudulent banknotes in circulation in whatever country you're in, and a lot of places don't check. So what they do is, let's just make it simple terms. So they'll have £1,000 worth of fraudulent criminals will have £1,000 worth of fraudulent banknotes, and they'll sell it on for like £100. And then that person then has those £1,000 fraudulent banknotes, which they will use in small denominations in places that don't check notes. And then they're then in their circulation within whatever it is, their shop, their bar, their pub, their whatever. And then they will give those notes out to other people, and those people won't check. So case in point, he might not have even known that that was a fraudulent note. So it's an assumption to say that he was doing it intentionally. And we won't ever know because he's not here to defend himself. So he could well have just been paying with a note that he thought was a note and not have known it was fraudulent. Let's just get that right, because that's just how it works. It's only when someone who does check, that note could have already been passed around several times before it gets to that last destination there. It says that. This witness also said that he thought George was high. Now, there's several points on this. One, it's an assumption. Two, I don't think anyone, after the last year and how much alcohol and drugs have been consumed by a vast amount of the population in various places, really is in any place to judge anyone on having a drink at any point of the day. You know, I spent 20 years of my life discombobulated. So, you know, it's, no one has that right. And particularly when there's a lot of people in powerful positions in law firms and criminal justice systems and police systems and politicians that are on prescription medication, which actually, if you look at the list of the worst drugs, they are considered worse than any other drugs. So let's just get that right as well. So everyone needs to get back down off their fucking high horses straight away on those points. Then, if you think on the basis that he was high, why would it take? It wouldn't take, and I know because I've been high. It would not take 3 men. He wasn't resisting arrest. Yeah, so he wasn't resisting arrest. It wouldn't take 3 men to hold down somebody that is not resisting arrest. 1. And then it certainly wouldn't take 2 men who then had handcuffed him already and a third one to have a knee on the neck for 9 minutes on somebody that was allegedly high, who was also not resisting arrest. And then over and above that, I've looked up, because I was watching the other guy who was made a statement, who was a witness, who is a martial arts expert, and he just happened to be, he works near there. Okay. And he said that the police and FBI and everyone go into the place where he works to train. And they know these moves, and they know how long it takes to do the move to get someone to submit. And that is if you're dealing with somebody who is sober and fighting you. Right? So you're dealing with policemen that are trained in these maneuvers to submit people. So you're dealing with people that have knowledge of the technique, they have knowledge of the time it takes to take someone to submit. And that is if they were fighting you, that would warrant a knee on the neck, not on somebody who is allegedly high and also not resisting arrest. They'd already cuffed him. So why would you continue? There's no need. And then over and above that, I've looked it up, and it takes, I'll read it to you. So this is from a pro martial arts fighter. I'm going to put the links in, as I always do, on the time it takes to get someone to submit, and it would put them to sleep because of the oxygen deprivation from the neck. The answer is, with full application, it would take somewhere between 6 to 10 seconds to knock someone out. After that, the person being choked would be able to get up and be okay after 5 to 10 seconds. At full application for 60 seconds or more, a person will die. And that is written by a pro fighter. So on that basis, there is no question. There is no question whatsoever. You can, this is not going to be easy for people to hear that may know the policeman in charge, in question, sorry. But at the end of the day, This is a person that is trained in these maneuvers. They know how long it takes to take somebody down, to make them submit, to make them pass out. And that's when they're that's if they are sober, and allegedly he was high and was also not resisting arrest. So why does it take 3? And he was also handcuffed. So why continue kneeling on his neck? And also it takes 6 to 10 seconds to make somebody knock out if you have your full weight on them, on their neck. And over 60 seconds is a complete risk to life. It says they will die. And that's coming from somebody that knows these moves. So putting your knee on somebody's neck for almost 9 minutes, when you know those techniques and you know the moves and you know the risk to life, and you know that you're going to cut off somebody's airway, that is intentional. There is no ifs, buts, or ands about it. It's got nothing to do with anything else other than that. There is no reason for it. There's no reason for it, because if you thought he was high, like you're saying, or like they're going to allege, then there's no reason for that neck move anyway, because there's 3 of you and he was already handcuffed and he wasn't resisting arrest. So, and the sheer audacity of this policeman to even claim not guilty is so offensive to me. It makes me really angry, because it is just a lie, like, of the highest order. You can't say that's my job, because that's not your job. Your job is not to kill people. You can't say you didn't know because you're trained in those moves. You can't say 9 minutes is okay when 6 to 10 seconds will knock somebody out. You can't say any of those things. Anything longer than 60 seconds is you can potentially kill someone. And this guy had his knee on his neck, for 8 minutes, 40 odd seconds. That is full on intentional. It is. Because when you know that over 60 seconds is going to kill someone, you can't say that. Cannot. Yeah. So anything that comes out of that man's mouth is bullshit. He's a murderer. I'm sorry. And nothing, let me tell you, nothing is going to prepare him for what is going to be waiting for him. Ultimately. That is the God's honest truth. And that might be hard for some people to hear, but those are the facts. So yeah, sorry, I had to get that out. It's been brewing in me since I just watched it. I was just like, oh, rage. So angry. And these police departments and this judge, I'm gonna hashtag him in, because yeah, this is a disgrace. That behaviour is an absolute disgrace, and you should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed that you have someone like that on your force. And you should be you should be wanting the same result as everybody else, because that behavior there is nothing short of evil. And I know it's hard when it's, you know, someone you know or someone you work with, but you can't protect that. You cannot. Can't. You know. And if we want things to change, they got to change. Got to change back, seriously. Because you've got to see that is it's something else completely. And let's wait. And you know, just, you know, I'm not hating. You know, we've just had a policeman kill, allegedly, a girl over here. Same thing, isn't it? Now they're getting defensive. It's like, why are you even trying to? You know, we're not having a go at all of you. It's just, you know, he's a bad apple. Just accept that happened, and, you know, apologise for the subsequent actions, and then people can move on. It's this defending of your own, even though you know it's wrong. Like, come on, we need to move past this. We're not fighting against each other. We shouldn't be fighting against each other. We should be fighting together for the good of all. And if there are bad eggs, then they need to be dealt with, because it's only going to cause people pain in the long run. So yeah, just wanted to tell you what I found, so I'm going to put those links in. There was an amazing story on earlier, so I'm going to try and change the note a little bit now to turn it back up, because I've had a great day, actually, other than the last hour or so. I've just been brewing. And check this. There was a little kid, yeah? Have I written down his name? No, I wrote the teacher's name. So there was a kid at school. He was on the news. A kid at school, and he had an arm. It stopped sort of here, and he was given a prosthetic from the hospital, and it was heavy, and it just didn't work properly, and he didn't like it. His tech teacher at school, who needs a shout out, Daniel Grant, right? His teacher contacted, there's a charity called Team Unlimited, right? And he's got 3D printers at school. This teacher printed this kid a Iron Man bionic arm, okay, to replace the hospital one. So it's really light, and it's more, you know what I mean? What's that word? Dexterous, you know what I'm saying? So it's better for him to pick stuff up. It looks like Iron Man, cool. And not only that, so he printed him this arm. He got the sort of the bionic bits, the electrics and stuff from this charity. And it cost, wait for it, 30 quid. 30 quid for a bionic arm. Printed at school. And he can, and obviously they can and it's all perfectly matched to his other hands and everything. So, and obviously when they're kids, they change they grow so much, don't they? So every year he'll be able to get just another one printed to match his his growth. And the printers only cost like 300 quid. So he's got a bionic arm, Iron Man style, for 330 quid essentially, if you wanted to factor in the cost of the printers. But for like hospitals and stuff, surely that's way cheaper than the prosthetics you're getting off these medical companies. But it is. And it's better. So it's better, it's cheaper, it's lighter, it's more flexible, and it means then that you can give them what they need as they're growing. How cool is that? So I'm going to put in the links to that. Oh, and then from there, I haven't seen anything about this. Maybe people do. I don't know. But there's a guy over here called the Super Vet. Okay. And there's a program about him, and he does bionic limbs for pets that have like lost their paws or legs and things. But he's created this technology where you can implant the bionic limb directly into the bone. So rather than, this is stay on the same prosthetic theme. So rather than the prosthetic, and this obviously translating into humans, this is what I'm thinking. And it says that he's already started talking about it, but I haven't seen it anywhere. So basically, so on pets, he so say they've been run over or something. If a cat's been run over and they've got a paw and it needs to be amputated, what he'll do is he's got these little paws, and you can put the metal rod from the paw, the bionic paw, straight into the bone, and then it comes with like this mesh stuff. I mean, this is obviously a really scientific explanation, as you can tell. This mesh stuff, and then the skin grows over it, around it, seals it all in. So then it's part of your, so it's just part of the leg. And obviously, because of the thing with the bionic arm, I was thinking, what if they, why haven't they done that with humans yet? So I Googled it, good old Google. And it says that he'd started talking to the Royal Obstetrics or something like that a couple of years ago, but they can't be using it because there was a young lad that just did a walk for Comic Relief who was double amputee, and he's using the traditional, the ones that you put your legs in. And obviously the thing with those is they rub, don't they? Obviously I don't know, but I'm just going from things that I've seen. Generally speaking, they rub, and particularly if you want to do, any kind of sports or whatever. But if you use this technology, and you've got the limb, full size limb, like say if you've got it from the knee down, you could do the same thing. So you'd have the bionic limb bit with a foot, but it would be permanently attached into your bone, and then the skin would grow around it, and it would be much more. Then you wouldn't get that chafe and that rub on your knee from the thing. The technology's there, and then that would make it be more flexible, just be easy. It'd be there all the time. You wouldn't have to worry about taking it on and off. You wouldn't have to worry about the sores around the you can do it on arms and legs. So I'm going to put the links into that as well. Yes. Come on, world. What else was I watching? Crime Watch. Oh, right. So I feel like I know I was hating on the police yesterday. I wasn't hating on them, but I was just, putting them right. But I'm going to share some love today for the police because they, that film. Oh, is it Minority Report with, oh my gosh, Tom Cruise? And they predict the future crimes, don't they? Listen, this is where we're at. This is where we are at, people. Because on this Crime Watch, they were saying there's a new software that they're using in Avon and Somerset. Big up Avon and Somerset. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes if you're wondering what I'm looking at. And it's called ClickSafe. And what it does is it pulls in all of the data on like all of the live reporting and all of the background records of the people and everything. So it on a rolling basis, it can tell you where the hotspots are, where crime's happening or certain crimes are, and then who's committed those crimes, if they've caught them, and what their backgrounds are and who they're connected to, and all of that jazz. So, and they had an example where this couple had been out for a walk and they came back and their house had been burgled. And they phoned the police, and the police came and they checked on this system, and they could see that there'd been within the last 24 hours, there'd been 4 similar crimes in that area. And, they had, I think it was, they knew what they looked like or something like that. So the police were driving around. Because what had happened is they'd stolen, it was an elderly couple, and they'd stolen her handbag with their keys in and her car keys. And they thought, well, maybe they got caught off guard. They'd come back when they were still in the house, and they'll come back soon to come and like get the car or something. So they were driving around to see if they could see anyone. And needless to say, they caught them as they were walking to the house to go and try and take the car. And so I'll put a link into that, because then we're predicting crime. Prevention is better than a cure. Prevention is always better than a cure. You know what I mean? You need to be quicker. We always need to be thinking 10 steps ahead. And on that note, the other thing that there's on this Crime Watch, so this is people who've got expensive cars. So you get the new technology where it's like you don't even need to press a button. It's a fob or something. There was a guy who bought himself a expensive Mercedes, and it works. You just have like a fob thing. So you don't even need to press a button. You just need to get near the car with the you know what I mean, frequency. And the door opens, and then you just can press the engine and it goes. Check this. So criminals have managed to hack away into this system, and there's an electronic device that they've made that means that if you've got a car outside your house that has this system, has this electronic system whereby you don't need a key, and you've got one of those fobby things that emits this signal, they've got a device that they can carry around, which means that if they see a house with one of these cars, they can literally walk around your house trying to get the signal. And once they've got it to their machine, it will bounce back to the car and open it and start it. and then they just literally just get in it and drive off. And in this example, so this car was 70 grand. He saved up for ages for this car. It was his pride and joy. And he did have a camera outside the front of the house. So he videoed it, and this guy was totally blasé, like looking straight in the camera with it, and he had this machine, and he was like walking around. It took him a minute and a half to find the signal, open the car and get in the car and drive off. So really the note on that is, you can, if you've got one of those cars that has one of those electronic fob things, then get one of those security, you can buy them from Halfords. There's like a little security wallet. This happens to loads of people, not just, but they get stolen to order, these cars. They get stolen to order, and it takes them that short of a time. They're so fucking blasé about it. They don't give a shit. They're making money. Think of that. 70 grand car, it takes you a minute and a half to steal it. They didn't find him afterwards either, because they'll go straight to a chop shop. So yeah, you can protect your keys. So you can protect your keys with a special wallet that you put in, and it blocks the signal. So if you want to try and save yourself some stress and protect yourself from future potential crimes and burglaries, make sure you get one of these and put it in, and then that blocks the signal. And also make sure it's in the center of the house as well, just for safekeeping. And then there's also new technology that they're making where they're making the keys where they go to sleep. So if you, same thing, if you've got the same sort of car, but the key, when it stops moving, like if you come in and you put it down, it'll go to sleep and it won't emit that signal. So that should help stop it as well. But it's better to be vigilant, isn't it? If everyone's vigilant, if everyone's like just aware of all these things, and putting the right things in place, then you're just going to deter these people from even coming near you. You know what I mean? Be like, oh, I can't even bothered. It's too much hassle. So it's just things like that. It's just little things like that. Particularly and the other one, Safe Water. Safe Water, it's called. They've got big up. I can't remember where it is, but it's called Operation Shield. I can't remember where they're having this. Safe Water's been around for ages. My dad used to use this way back when. But it's like, that luminescent liquid under a UV light. And you just put it on all your expensive stuff. But what it does is it transfers. So it means that if someone breaks into your house and takes your stuff, they'll get it on them without a shadow of a doubt. And then it means that if they're caught and they've got that liquid on them, then it means that that proves that they were at that place at that time. So it just helps as well. Just aids in police getting people that come in and steal things. And anything that we can do to help them is a benefit, I think. What else? Well, I'll tell you what. I've been listening to. I was just looking if I've got anything else here. Yeah, I'm in carnival vibe. That's what I'm saying. I'm in carnival mode. That's how I'm feeling. My inner being is in carnival mode for sure. Right, something big's coming. Everyone else is excited about going to the pub and the shops, and I'm like, the only thing. Do you know what I'm excited about? I'm like, when does the tattoo shop open? That's all I want to know. I've got a phoenix on my back, right? That I started in 2013. I had 2 4-hour sessions and then I met my ex, and they never got finished. But that fucker's getting finished. I'm gonna sit and grin and bear it. I'm gonna have it done hot. You know, like the girl with the dragon tattoo, that kind of size. That's what I'm going. That's how it's going. It's already all the tail feathers are down my leg and over my bum, so I'm just gonna get it even bigger than it was. Just gonna have it done in one sitting, like yeah. That's all I want. Then I'll be peachy king. So yeah, I think that's it for me today. It's a short one. I'm gonna. Oh my gosh! Actually, I you know what? Really did pull. Sorry, I need to firstly apologise to Ronaldo because I missed our training session this morning. I know that you're going to be upset with me, but don't hate, appreciate. I did do 200 sit-ups, 200 press-ups, and 200 squats. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself. But what I did do is I set up. I've been so productive today. I set up my film editing software. As you know, I don't do any editing on mine. You get all the ums and ahs and what. So I've set that up. I've been watching tutorials on that. Then I set up a Teespring shop. I've got about 100 products on there. So I've had a really productive day. Do you know what I mean? I feel like a little. Anyway, enough of that. I love you guys. I hope everyone's having a glorious day. And just know that something big is coming. Love you.